Hi there, I'm Otto Mitter, Managing Director of Elleebana, and it's a pleasure to be here today to talk to you about the evolution of the lash and brow industry. It's such a rewarding industry to be part of. I've been involved in the beauty industry now for over 2 decades, starting as a makeup artist, working as a technician, a beauty educator, product developer and formulator, and a brand builder. And it is so rewarding on so many levels because you can move into quite a few different areas just in the lash and brow sector alone. I'm going to also talk about some of the latest trends that are coming into the market and what you can do as a salon owner if you're interested in introducing some of these services into your salon, and how to market these really well so that you can boost your salon profits and take them to the next level. In today's world, eyelashes and eyebrows play a fundamental role in our beauty regime. But it's quite easy to forget about the original purpose of why we have eyelashes and eyebrows in the first place. Nature's actual purpose of eyebrows and eyelashes are to help keep dust, rain, sweat, and foreign objects from entering the eye, and they help us maintain our sight. They can even help prevent certain light shining directly into our eyes. So apart from making us look beautiful and giving great structure and identity, they have these important functions that help us in daily life that we often forget about. You'll notice that your eyebrows grow outward. And this is because as the rain runs down your face or forehead area, the eyebrows will deflect the water to help rain and moisture and keep water from entering into your eyes. Another important function is eyebrows help to give us expression and individuality. If you ever see a picture of someone you know and they have their eyebrows photoshopped out of the picture, you would swear they are a completely different person. It is incredible how much identity eyebrows give us. Studies have been conducted by scientists where they removed the eyes and eyebrows from pictures of celebrities, and they showed this to test subjects or candidates. Now, the candidates, after viewing the pictures with the eyes removed, were able to still recognize 60% of the celebrities' faces. But when the eyebrows were removed, only 40% of the candidates were able to recognize the celebrities' faces. Eyebrows and eyelashes will vary in thickness, color, shape, and growth patterns on every individual due to ethnicity and different genetics. Different genes will affect the thickness of your hair, and another gene is responsible for the color of your hair. Environmental factors can also attribute to how your eyebrows and lashes will look over time. Years of waxing and tweezing with eyebrows can change how the hairs grow in the follicle, or injuries that you have around the eyebrows can also affect whether the hairs can grow from the follicle. From a social point of view, lashes and brows play a major role in our lives. Lash extensions, lash lifting, or lash tinting, wearing mascara can really enhance the appearance of our eyes. And if we have eyebrows that are looking unruly, for example, or they're not groomed very well, that can really make us have a messy appearance. So it's really important to make sure that lashes and brows are groomed really well, and that the styling that we do with it can actually enhance our appearance as well. When we think about why we love the beauty industry, or why we love the feeling of beauty in general, it taps into our deeper consciousness. Beauty is a feeling, right? It's not just the way we look at ourselves or the way we think about ourselves and other people. They say beauty starts from the inside and works its way out. So the more beautiful that you feel, the more confident you're going to be. And this is going to help you with your journey of life, with everything that you do, with your work, your family, and socially. With the ever-increasing growth of the online world, people are more connected than ever, and they can see and be influenced by others more than ever before. When we see someone that looks beautiful and they have gorgeous lashes and brows, it instantly becomes something that others want. It is infectious and trends start to form in this world rather quickly. Looking attractive on social platforms like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube is something that seems to be a drawcard for many followers. And we've seen time and time again that the importance of looking good and getting that photo perfect, having that correct pose, is so important to capture the perfect image or video and reflect that image we want to portray to our followers. But there's a darker side to beauty, and that is because a lot of what you see online is not always a reality. The filters, the scenes that are set, the photoshopping that can happen on images to enhance our beauty can actually have a psychological effect on all of us. The good thing about enhancing lashes and brows is it's not always going to break the bank when you visit your trusty beautician to get these treatments. There's so many options, and it really makes such an amazing difference and gives you that instant gratification. Despite the glorious characteristics eyelashes and eyebrows have given us today, they weren't always like that at the conception of eyelash and eyebrow enhancement, which stems back to the days of ancient Egypt and Rome. Both men and women would partake in artificially lengthening their eyelashes by using kohl, which is a dark putty made from the powder of antimony or lead sulfide. Throughout the medieval ages, women actually started to remove their eyelashes and eyebrows at one time. And then in the years of Queen Elizabeth I, she had red natural hair and eyebrows. This started to influence the people, and they coloured the eyebrows with crushed berries to try and replicate the red hair look for the Queen. Eyebrows also had a very high arch, and the higher the brow, the higher the social class. In the late 1800s, the look of having enhanced eyelashes was growing and growing, and people were looking at alternative ways to do this. One way, which seems a little extreme, was where people were getting hair and false eyelashes sewn into the skin of the eyelid. With eyebrows through the 1800s, a fuller brow was desired by more women due to the hair loss that was created from over-plucking and toxic lead-based products of the skin. Eyebrow wigs were used as well. Yes, that's a thing. They were created from mice hair. The hair was collected and then stuck to the forehead using an adhesive. The birth of eyebrow extensions was that long ago, hey? I'm glad that trend has passed as well. I remember selling eyebrow wigs for a little while. The trend didn't really take off that well, except for if it was a windy day, of course. In the early 1900s, the concept of false eyelashes started being delivered to the masses when filmmaker D.W. Griffith instructed his makeup artists to use spirit gum, glue and hairs, and attach them onto the eyelids of the actress Sina Owen in the movie Intolerance. He felt something was missing from the scene and that this would be a great enhancement to give more definition, drama, and exaggeration to the look of the scene. A few years later, the look was adopted by flapper girls, helping to redefine womanhood. From the 1940s on, we saw the golden era of eyelash technology. Mascara was now evolving, and many patents around the world were created for eyelash curlers. The evolution of photography and cinema helped spearhead the need for eyelash enhancement further and further. During the times of World War II, it had a widespread effect on the planet. Women were needed in the workplace more, which meant they had less time for grooming and they looked for upkeep styles, which put an emphasis on low-maintenance makeup routines. This trend saw eyebrows become thicker and bolder, but still well-groomed. Through the 80s, it was an exciting time in fashion where bigger and bolder was better with everything: big hair, big nails, and big brows. I don't know how many times people have referenced Brooke Shields as the 80s brow goddess, so why not pay homage again? Brooke, you were the 80s brow queen. Then we said hello to the 90s style. In the 90s, eyebrows had a sense of minimalism which brought a comeback and calling for thinner, more defined lines and framing throughout the brow. From the year 2000 to 2010 and on, we've seen the rise of the fluffy brow. That means the tweezers have been put down from any excessive plucking, and brow stylists have been coaching us to grow a more bolder, beautiful brow to help us get that Instagram wow. My journey through the lash and brow industry has been very long and eventful, and I'm so grateful for what I've been able to see throughout this time. I've seen a lot of brands and trends come and go and even come back again. And that's the beautiful thing about services in the beauty industry. Sometimes you can just make a slight adjustment or bring out some new techniques that might help the treatment become better and more viable for salons. And this can spark a whole new revolution or trend throughout the industry. Let's have a look at some of these trends and how they've evolved throughout the years. Eyelash and eyebrow colouring or tinting. This service has been a mainstay all around the world for at least 80 years now. Many European countries have led the way at pioneering the development of eyelash and eyebrow dyes, and this service has been very popular due to the long-lasting definition and effects it gives on eyelashes and eyebrows. Mascara, as we know, is an essential part of the beauty routine, but the beauty about tinting is in many cases some clients feel they don't need to wear mascara, therefore speeding up the daily beauty routine and having a more low-maintenance approach for clients. People have been colouring hair for thousands of years using different plants and minerals, but the process of eyelash tinting or brow tinting uses an active called paraphenylene diamine, and this active combined with other ingredients and hydrogen peroxide is more of a permanent colour result, where the colour molecules in the melanin of the hair or the cortex are changed through a chemical process which gives a longer lasting result to the client and lasts 6 to 8 weeks in some circumstances. Tint colours these days have many shades to cater for different hair types and skin types. When doing eyelash treatments, there's usually a selection of colours that are dark enough to be noticed on already dark eyelashes. Colours we use are black, blue, dark brown and violet. When working with eyebrows, the most popular colour tones are more natural browns, light brown, and in some cases clients even have warm red tones. When tinting brows, it's always important to create a harmonious look for your clients. So the tint colour on the brows needs to complement the natural hair colour on your client's head. In some cases, it can be a stylistic approach to have platinum blonde hair and dark brown eyebrows. It does always come down to client preference, but in most cases, when performing natural and complementary definition, if a client has very dark hair, the brows might be 1 or 2 shades lighter, and with light hair, the brows will be 1 to 2 shades darker. This can give a complementary look for most clients, but skin tones also come into play when customizing the best color choice for our clients when tinting. Another lash treatment that has been super popular in the industry but has been around for quite some time is lash lifting, and it is one of my favorites. I've been working with these products for over 20 years now. It originated as eyelash perming and it started in Asia. The trend came out there because a lot of Asian clients have quite straight eyelashes and they really wanted to have a longer lasting curl. You could use the eyelash curler, but obviously that's only going to last for a few hours or a day. But with eyelash perming or lash lifting, when we use these permanent wave lotions, they extend the curl for long periods of time, for up to 6 to 8 weeks or even longer in some cases. Fast forward to around 2008, lash lifting started hitting the scene. New silicone rods and shields were developed and other add-ons and tools were created to help make the service faster for the technician. It also helped to give more flawless results for clients having the service. So it was a really exciting time for the lash industry. I remember working with these different tools and how exciting it was coming up with new techniques for how to separate the lashes while attaching them to the silicone rods and the shields and adjusting lotion placement to get a more dramatic effect. The introduction of the new tools helped to keep lash artists interested and give them more flexibility and freedom to style the lashes when performing this service. Lash lifting is a process where we adhere the client's lashes to the rods or shields, and then we use permanent wave lotions to break down the disulfide bonds of the hairs or the lashes, which allow the lashes to become softer and more malleable. We then lock them into their new lifted or curled position using a setting lotion or neutralizer. The final step is using a conditioning lotion to boost the feeling of strength and prevent dryness so the lashes stay in a nicely conditioned state for the duration of the next 6 weeks. And voila, you have gorgeous lifted lashes that really do make such a difference. The thing I love about the end of the lash lift service is in many cases it looks like you're wearing a classic set of lash extensions, and they last for up to 6 to 8 weeks with very little maintenance involved. So that's why it's such a popular service in the lash and brow industry. Of course, we can't forget to mention eyelash extensions. That to many people is the holy grail of lash enhancement. It's such an amazing service, and I actually remember being at Hong Kong Cosmoprof around 20 years ago and seeing lash extensions for the first time being applied from a lady in Korea, and she was showing us the technique. We learnt how to do the service very basically. I think there was a DVD and it was all in Korean. So the training was very basic at the time, but it was certainly very exciting to see the difference that you could make by applying these individual lash extensions to your clients. There was a lot of struggles with the adhesive that was being used in the beginning. My family was one of the first in Australia to be involved in the distribution of lash extensions, and the phone would ring every day with people complaining about how the lashes weren't lasting and the glue wasn't working. Over time, the technology and production improved, and the lashes also became better quality and more natural looking and flexible. Eyelash extensions are made from a fibre called polybutylene terephthalate, or PBT for short. This fibre or thermoplastic has many uses in the electrical and electronic industries. It's also processed into fibres for toothbrushes or in households in shower heads or irons. Its lightweight and flexibility makes it ideal to be moulded into eyelash extensions. The process of producing lashes is quite a talent, and they are all handmade. The PBT fibre is trimmed to the length of the lash that is required, and then they are rolled onto a steel pipe or rod that is then transferred to an oven where the PBT is heated for a set amount of time. There they are removed for cooling. They are then trimmed further and crafted into their final production process in lines of lengths and thickness and packed up and sent out to the professional lash community. Lash extensions has such a loyal following, and it's a massive movement in the beauty industry. Many technicians and clients that actually have lash extensions on them feel that once they've had a luscious set applied and then they're removed, they actually feel quite naked without them. So it's really quite an addictive service. Technicians or lash artists take huge pride in their artistic skills. It really is an art form applying a set of lash extensions on clients. There is a lot of technique and practice required to master the skill. There is also a lot of styling options that you can incorporate into performing a set of lash extensions. With eyelash extensions, you also have the ability to create more definition by doing an eyeliner effect, or you have the ability to have an extra glam effect by using a technique called volume. Applying these techniques makes a massive difference for our clients and can radiate their beauty to the next level. Being an esthetician covers a wide range of beauty services on your menu. But if you're a lash artist and focus mainly on lashes and you're looking at expanding your services and getting some more clients, then adding brow services into your menu can potentially double or triple your income. And it's so rewarding. Brows and lashes just work hand in hand together. So let's take a look at some of the latest brow trends or services that are great to incorporate into a salon menu. One brow treatment that's making a real resurgence in the industry today is brow lamination. I remember doing my first brow lamination back in 2010, and it wasn't very popular at the time. There was a few people doing it, but we called it brow taming back then. But essentially you're using permanent wave lotions, similar to lash lift lotions, to stretch out the hairs, make them straighter. And this is quite good for people that have unruly brows or brow hairs that might grow downwards quite strongly, and it's hard for them to just stay in place when they use a brow styling gel alone. When you use brow lamination, you can stretch or position these hairs, and it makes it a lot easier for the client to be able to groom their hairs on a daily basis. So it gives that thicker, fuller, fluffier appearance, which is definitely on trend at the moment. And that's why it's made such a resurgence in the market, because this type of brow style or grooming is really on trend right now. Unfortunately for some clients, they can struggle to grow eyelashes or eyebrows, but there is a service for them, and it's called eyelash and eyebrow transplants. Now, it sounds a little surgical, doesn't it? And it certainly is. The process involves taking a hair from the back of the client's head and actually transplanting that along the eyeline area or throughout the brow area. There are some pros and cons with having lash or eyebrow transplants, and that is long-term, the results will last longer than many other eyelash solutions, and the lashes are also made of real hairs instead of synthetic ones. But some of the risks that are involved, it is like surgery, and you may suffer from some pain, bleeding, infection, or poor aesthetic outcomes or irritation. There is another great option for people that struggle to grow thicker, fuller lashes or eyebrows, and that is growth serums. You've probably heard of lash growth serums or lash enhancement serums, because these have been in the industry now for over 2 decades. They tend to use a mixture of peptides, biotinyl tripeptide 1 or myristoyl pentapeptide 17. There's quite a lot of different peptides that are very popular that have been used throughout these serums, but they also contain other types of ingredients, amino acids, vitamins and minerals, and plant extracts that help to keep hairs thicker, fuller, stronger, and more healthy, but also help to stimulate blood flow and increase the size of the follicle so that more blood is being fed into the follicle and the lashes and brows grow thicker over time. These serums do need to be used religiously though to really see efficient results. And even then, they don't always work on everybody. We've done a lot of clinical testing over the years with different types of serums, and on some people, they do get great results if they use them regularly and they use them correctly. But some people still don't see results even if they use it all the time. So it does sometimes come down to the individual and how they will respond to these kinds of products and ingredients, but it can be a great option for a lot of clients out there if they want thicker, fuller lashes or eyebrows. Another huge movement in the beauty industry is cosmetic tattoo and eyebrow tattooing. This is a fantastic option for anybody that struggles to grow natural eyebrows. The results that you can get with cosmetic tattoo are incredible. The hair stroke techniques you can do, the ombre brows, the powder brows are just fascinating. And this is just advancing all the time with new techniques and new machines that they're using to be able to get these incredible results. Microblading is a trend that came into the industry a few years ago now, which is where the technician uses a small blade and then inserts pigment into the skin as hair strokes. These results can last 6 to 18 months, if not even longer, and this is very beneficial for people with patchy eyebrows, as it will help them to be able to save time on their daily makeup routine because they do not have to draw in a full set of eyebrows every time they do their makeup. They just use a very small touch-up and a brow pencil, and they're good to go for the day. Powder brows is a cosmetic semi-permanent makeup technique designed to create eyebrows that give a soft powder effect. It's very similar to powder makeup. Powder effect is done with a shading technique using a permanent makeup device which is similar to a tattoo gun. A cosmetic tattoo artist uses a small needle to place pigment into the skin with a quick hand motion. This results in a pixelated effect of powder makeup. In order to add density, the artists can layer the pixels repetitively, which will appear as though the brow was filled with a pencil or brow pomade. Let's talk about contraindications, sensitivities, and some things that can go wrong, unfortunately, when you're doing beauty treatments or lash and brow treatments. Like anything in the beauty industry, people can be sensitive to certain ingredients, even with skincare or hair removal, IPL, laser, waxing. Certain types of products do have ingredients that some people can be sensitive to. So we do need to do a thorough consultation with our clients all the time before we proceed with using certain products on them. Especially when you're using hair colors or lash and brow colors, you should always do a sensitivity patch test. You should also do this with lash lifting lotions or even eyelash extensions adhesive. You can patch test by applying a few lashes to the outer corners of the eyes. Even though the adhesive is not going to be touching the skin, and it should never touch the skin, at least the adhesive is being placed how it would by just using a few lashes at a time. So there are a lot of techniques or ways that you can test or patch test the products that you're going to use on your clients, but you should always follow the manufacturer guidelines and ensure you do this before you proceed with the treatment to ensure that they're going to be suitable for the service. Reactions mainly happen when there is direct skin contact with products. When we're performing eyelash tinting, lash lifting, or eyelash extensions, it's very important to avoid touching the skin with the products themselves. This is where great training is important and checking your technique to make sure you are not allowing these lotions or the adhesive to ever touch the skin. There is a big trend in the industry at the moment when colouring eyebrows, and that is to leave a skin stain. Now, generally, skin stains will only last up to a week or so due to the lipids and oils in the skin and the fast regeneration properties of the skin. But we should always keep in mind that if we are applying these colours to the brows and we're wanting a skin stain, that there is going to be a chance that our clients could have a reaction or be sensitive to this. It is a rare occurrence, but it is something that we always have to consider. When we are shaping eyebrows, I always prefer to do any colouring first and then do the hair removal last. This way, we are not putting chemical colour on top of skin that has had any trauma from waxing or hair removal. Putting henna products or brow colouring products on top of irritated skin is really just asking for a reaction. If we look at lash lifting, for example, when we are applying these lotions to the lashes, we need to apply them very closely down near the skin. We need to leave a few millimeters away from that eyeline area because it is such a sensitive area with so many blood vessels there. These lotions do have a high alkaline percentage that is higher than the skin. So the skin will feel irritated if you leave it on for too long. So we want to avoid touching the skin. This can cause a reaction with some clients if they're sensitive to those ingredients. But it just goes to show that we really have to be so precise when we are applying these lotions. It only takes a really small margin of error, literally millimeters of just an adjustment with your brush with the lotions that could mean that you've got some lotion in somebody's eye. So you do have to be really, really careful with the application process. We can teach you how to do great applications, but you have to always make sure that you're staying on top of this and being aware of it when you're working in the salon environment. If we look at driving a car, for example, you can get your license and pass the test to drive a car. But if you run through a red light or you drink alcohol while you drive, that is not really the fault of the training. It is something that we have to really stay on top of as professionals because sometimes we get busy in the salon and it is so easy to make just such a small margin of error. So I always talk about the importance of really paying very close attention to these kinds of things when we're doing applications around the eyes. Let's take a look at some of the common challenges that I see with lash lifting and what artists contact me about a lot on Instagram and in Facebook forums. One of those challenges is the lashes not adhering to the shields or rods correctly. This is a problem that we see quite a bit in the industry. Now, the way to get around this is to ensure that you're using the correct amount of adhesive and lifting the lashes in sections before you move to the next section. You do need to take your time and master this skill before rushing along the lash line and just trying to get the lashes up as quickly as possible. You need a good amount of adhesive right at the base of the shield all the way to the top so that when you attach the lashes, they are being attached at the base. That is where they have a lot of tension, where they want to come back away from the shield. So using a good amount of adhesive there and then making sure you have good tension on the lashes and pulling them up into the correct position, and then you have to hold for sometimes 10 seconds or even longer with really stubborn, strong lashes. So sometimes patience is really important. There is also options such as using the stronghold adhesive, which is going to give a stronger bond and hold lashes in place. But those adhesives work a little differently. They might set a little faster or have a faster moment of setting. So you need to work with them a little bit and get used to them, but they can also help hold the lashes in place better for you when you're doing this service. Another common challenge that I see in lash lifting with some clients is they don't apply enough lotion to the lashes. And this can mean you're going to get inconsistent results. It does depend on what system you're using. Some systems have different techniques. But generally, you do need to ensure that you have consistent lotion placement all the way from the base of the lashes, not touching the skin though, and then coming all the way up to maybe 3/4 of the way, or some systems actually tell you to paint the tips of the lashes as well. So depending on the type of lotion and system you're using, you will adjust the height of the lotion placement. But adjusting the height of lotion placement can really change how dramatic that lift is going to be, and also the amount of time that you leave it on for. Another really important point that I talk to a lot of students about and people in the industry is client expectations. We always want to ensure that our clients have a good understanding of the variances that can happen with lash lifting. It's not one size fits all, really. There is adjustments that need to be made due to hair texture. And hair texture is different on so many individuals, depending on your ethnicity, your background, your gene or genetic makeup. You could have thicker eyelashes or eyebrows compared to somebody else that has very thin hair structure. Thin hair structure is going to process a lot faster than thicker hair structure. So you will have to adjust the times. You might also have to adjust the lotion placement as well for clients that have thicker hair compared to some that have thinner hair texture. That is a real big one. And also showing your clients what the results might look like on clients with short lashes, or clients with medium lashes, or clients with long lashes. I recommend having a portfolio of your work so that you can showcase this, because a client that has short lashes is not going to get the same result as somebody that has long lashes. It's just impossible to do that. Sure, with short lashes, it still gives great results and makes a huge difference. But they may say to you, why don't my lashes look like the ones I see on Instagram? They don't look like Kim Kardashian's lashes or somebody that has really long, full lashes. And you really do have, it's like an artist palette. If you're working with short lashes, you have to do the best you can with short lashes. So showing your clients the results with short lashes will give them a good understanding and help them have great expectations or understanding the expectations of the treatment outcome. Let's take a look at some of the common challenges with brow lamination. One of the biggest ones would be avoiding skin irritation. Now, it's quite tricky to avoid these lotions touching the skin because, as we know, the brow hairs are very short and close to the skin on most clients. And as you're applying this lotion and brushing it through, it's highly likely that it is going to touch the skin. So we need to look at our application technique, and we need to really try to be light-handed when we're applying this lotion. I feel when we do brow lamination, it's quite satisfying for the technician to brush through the hairs and really stretch them out and see the lotions working and see you reshaping the brow. But essentially, through that first step, that lotion is softening the hairs anyway. And it's the second step where we're really stretching them and locking them into place with brow lamination. So my advice would be to avoid putting too much lotion on in the first step. Don't be too heavy-handed and have it all around the brow area. And I do see this from time to time, that there is way too much lotion being applied in that first step. And this can cause skin irritation with too much excess lotion. So always make sure you're using a microbrush or a cotton tip to come in, especially under the top line of the eyebrow, to clean up under there and remove lotion to ensure that you're avoiding that excess product on the skin, which could cause irritation on some clients. Another common challenge that I see is clients might not get 100% straight hair from the very base to the tip. And that's because some clients have very strong directional growth with their brow hairs. And as it comes out of the follicle, it might grow downward, for example, and you're wanting to brush the hairs up. So as you're brushing, you'll have this tiny little kink basically from the base of the brow hairs. Now you can brush them harder and use more lotion and leave it for longer, and this can help redirect those hairs better. But you always need to take into account, if you leave the lotion on for too long, you could create irritation on somebody. So you always have to keep an eye on this because you want to avoid irritation as much as possible. Another important element with brow lamination is ensuring that you have a really good consultation process and that you understand your customers' expectations and you explain to them exactly how the treatment works and what they can expect over the next 8 weeks after the service. There is quite a bit of maintenance that's involved with brow lamination to ensure that you maintain that brushed up look or well-groomed look that they're going to want to achieve. Because after a day or two, after you have a shower or if you go to sleep and your head moves on the pillow, the brows are going to change position. The hairs move around. So they will need to have a good brow gel or styling gel and be shown how to groom their brows in a great way so that they can maintain that look. Let's dive into eyelash extensions and some of the common challenges that we see there as a technician and as a client. Probably one of the biggest ones is retention and winning the retention battle. This is the biggest challenge, I think, for a lot of lash extensions technicians. And a lot of the time, it can come down to lashes not being prepared correctly. That's the first step that we have to look at. We have to ensure we're using a non-oily eye makeup remover, cleanser, shampoo, lash shampoo to really ensure that there is no makeup residue on those lashes at all. And this can be tricky sometimes when you're really busy in the salon and you do a quick cleanse. You really have to make sure that those lashes are squeaky clean and that the palette is perfect for you to start applying your lashes so that the adhesive can get the optimal bond to the natural lash. The next thing that we have to look out for when we are trying to get great retention for our lash extensions clients is ensuring that the attachment and glue control is perfect. This is such an important part of the service. Now, I've seen this many times with technicians that I've worked with for years. They will sometimes change up their technique a little bit throughout the day. For example, isolate, dip, and place onto the natural lash, or they might go dip, isolate, and place. So they're changing that technique slightly on the same set that they're working on with this particular client. And that means that when they're dipping the lash extension into the adhesive, if they then isolate the lashes, it's taking them more time to get the lash extension onto the natural lash. And that adhesive might have already started setting and curing a little bit before it's getting its attachment to the natural lash. And this affects the optimal bond time. So this sort of thing happens quite a lot. And we just need to keep an eye on it as artists and make sure that we are religiously doing the same method and making sure that we are getting that lash extension onto the natural lash with the correct amount of adhesive in the correct amount of time. Another important point to do with retention is glue control and humidity. And humidity in the room environment that we are working in. This can be frustrating sometimes, but it is really important because this is how adhesives work. They need the correct amount of humidity in the air to be able to set correctly. And if the humidity is off, or it's too dry in the room, or it's too humid in the room, you'll experience a different outcome when you go to apply the lash extension to the natural lash. In some cases, you'll feel that the lash extension won't stick to the natural lash, and then in some cases, it'll stick very quickly. So you have to be able to adjust the humidity in your room. You need to have an air conditioning unit, but you also need to have a humidifier in the room as well, if you need to put more humidity into the room so that your adhesive can work more effectively. Another topic that I'd like to talk about is common challenges with eyebrow or eyelash tinting. This is something that's super important to get right, and some of the challenges that can happen are patchy results through the eyebrows when we're coloring the eyebrows. We want that flawless color result. So you really want to make sure that you are applying the product in a consistent motion, starting from the tail end first of the eyebrow. We do this so that we can build color and more depth at the tail of the brow first. And we also want to draw an underline to the bottom line of the eyebrow. We really want that definition from the base of the eyebrow to the tail, and then we start filling in through the brow. We usually leave the head of the eyebrow until last, and we do a bit of a lighter application. And this gives that nice ombre effect to eyebrows, which is really in at the moment. There's quite a few different techniques that you can use depending on the result that you're after, but ensuring you get even coverage is important. And that means mixing the product correctly and also using the correct type of brush. Now you can use an angled eye brush or an application brush or even an eyeliner style brush to do some hair stroke styling techniques or coloring in that underline of the brow. There is a few different ways you can do it, but you need to ensure that you're applying a smooth and consistent color all the way through so that you're not having any patchy results. And you really do need to leave the tint on for a long enough amount of time to get that result as well. So adding lash and brow services to your menu is a really exciting option. It can really boost your salon profits and just give you instant gratification results for your clients. So it's great when we learn these new kinds of products or techniques that we can introduce, but we do need to let our clients know that we have them. If you're a new salon, you might not have any clients, so you need to obviously let them know about the services so you can start getting clients in the door and showing them your amazing skills. You might be a salon that already has quite a lot of clients, so it might be easier for you to introduce new products. But it's still important to have a great marketing plan and a budget put together when you're introducing any new products into your salon to ensure that you have the profitability there and you know what your break-even points are going to be and that you know that it's going to be a successful service long-term for your business. Capturing amazing before and after photos is essential for your business and showcasing your work. Clients love to see the results that they're expecting to achieve. Before and after photos and videos are a proven method to showcase the evidence for your clients. However, there are some rules when it comes to taking before and after imagery. You want to ensure that it's done professionally. Now, when I say professionally, I don't mean that you have to go and get a professional photographer for every before and after photo you wish to take. Sure, if you have it in the budget, then that's a great option. but we can get amazing before and after photos and videos with our wonderful phones that we all have these days. Most of the photos and videos you see on Instagram are taken on phones, and the quality looks amazing and it gets the job done. Promote your expertise with amazing before and after photos and videos. One of my big tips for ensuring that you're getting amazing before and after videos or photos is making sure you have great lighting in your room or the area that you're working in. Now you can use ring lights, glam core lights, and most beauty salons do have quite good lighting anyway, because that's part of the equipment that you need when you're setting up a salon. But you can also have things like ring lights or selfie ring lights on your phones that you can use to help capture great lighting and really lighten up the area around the eye to show off the lashes or the eyebrows. That's what clients want to see. If you have a lot of shadowing around the eye area, it really doesn't show off your work and it doesn't look professional. So it's not really representing your brand or technique on a high level. So really invest and spend the time to practice and learn how to take great videos or photos. There's plenty of courses online. In fact, we have a course as well that shows how to do photos and videos. And it's so important that you do this to make sure that you really represent your salon and your applications at a high level. It really gets your clients interested in having the services. Using the correct hashtags is really important as well when you're trying to build a following or also get more clients into your salon. You need to think about what type of hashtags you might need to use, and Instagram works really well with hashtags. I've used this a lot in my own marketing over the years, and if I use the hashtag entrepreneur, for example, I'll notice that people that are following that hashtag will reach out and ask me questions or start to follow my page. Now, this might not work for you if you're a salon owner and you have a salon in Chicago, for example. You might be wanting to try and get clients in your area. So you might need to use different hashtags that might be more along the lines of Chicago lashes, for example. Of course, you might want to use the well-known hashtags like eyelash extensions or lash salon, things that people might be looking for in general, but you also want to try and tap into your localized market. So research what hashtags are going to be good for you in your local area and use them as well. Now, if you're wanting to just gain followers and build your account, then it's good to use the other generalized hashtags or more popular trending hashtags so that you can start getting people to know you on a grander scale as well. You should always do a marketing plan for any new product or service that you are launching in your business or salon. It's really, really important and vital that you know what your expenses are going to be, what your break-even point is going to be, and what the profitability is going to be of this service in your salon. So how many treatments are you going to have to do each week to actually cover your expenses, your bills, your utilities, your insurance, your superannuation or 401k, and maybe staff expenses as well? You really have to have a good idea that this is going to work for you and have those projections. It can be very, very important for the longevity of adding a service into your menu. Do some research on what other salons might be offering this service for in your area. Now, you don't always have to be the cheapest or least expensive. I find that you shouldn't undersell yourself when you're an artist and you're working so hard to do these kinds of treatments. It's not easy work, working in a salon all day, sometimes 12 hours a day, and it can be back-breaking work, sitting there working away in those positions for long hours at a time. You have to really ensure that you are looking after yourself in your future, because you probably can't do this forever either. So always think about that. Make sure that you don't need to be the cheapest person there. You do need to value yourself and your work as an artist. And it also helps the industry as a whole. Sure, from now and then, we might want to do a special with our clients and try and do a discounted rate to get some people in the door. That is quite common, and people do competitions, for example, to get people interested. And you can do this, but don't undersell yourself when you're an artist. Always believe in yourself and back yourself and charge what you think you're worth. Embrace social media ads, Google ads, online directories. These are fantastic options that you need to use if you're not using them currently. It will really help grow your customer base. So make sure you tap into that. And it's quite an inexpensive way really to start off. And it's so good how you can target your audience with a lot of these ads these days. The flexibility and the options, the areas that you can target are fantastic with Facebook and Google. So definitely look into that and use those options if you're not already. Another great strategy is having a referral program or working with some brand ambassadors or salon brand advocates. This can really help grow your reach. Having influencers essentially that might give you a 5-star review on Google, refer a friend, they might get some free products that you might offer them, or a complimentary treatment or a half-price treatment for doing the referral or for doing the 5-star review for you. Try these kinds of methods to start getting a bit more engagement and people also helping to spread the good word about you and your services. Be authentic with your content and really tell a story to your clients about who you are so they can get to know you and feel comfortable and welcomed about coming into your business and your salon. Why not really share the experience that they're going to get when they come in there? Show them the beautiful area or waiting room that they'll come into and the bed that they'll lie in when they have the treatments. Really try and share what that experience is going to be like, because it helps them to feel more welcomed and more relaxed and know what to expect when they're coming in to see you. And people love to hear a bit of a story about their artist that they're working with. So try and be real with your story. Keep it professional, of course, but keep it fun as well and welcoming. And I think that'll really help you with your business if you're not doing that already. Updating your website. It's so important to really make sure you're sharing all the latest stories that have happened, the latest treatments that have come into the salon, the latest news, your achievements, all those kinds of things that you might not have had time to update over the last year. Make sure you do update them and tell that story through your website. Keep it up to date. Have you done the SEO on your website? There's a lot of things that you need to do there. It is a never-ending project, updating the website. So make sure you stay on top of that, because that can really help you as well get more clients through the door. Combining services to maximize your productivity and profits. It's a win-win for you and your clients. Your clients can come in and have a lash lift and a brow lamination at the same time, or a lash lift and a brow tint, or lash extensions and a brow tint. You can really cross over and combine lash and brow treatments quite a lot, and you can maximize your productivity. So when you're doing a lash lift and a brow lamination, you can do them at the same time within an hour. Or you could just do a lash lift within an hour or a brow lamination within an hour, but why not do them both at the same time if the client is suited for it? This can double your profits, maximize your productivity, and also give your clients even better results and more outcomes when they come to see you. A wonderful thing about lash and brow services is the add-ons that you can have with these services, such as aftercare treatments. Now, we all know that it can be hard selling a product to a client when you don't really believe in it and you think it's not really going to see results straight away, and sometimes the clients feel like they're being sold to, and that can be quite difficult. But after lash lifting, clients really do benefit from using aftercare serums or keratin mascaras, for example, and it makes an instant difference. And that's the advantage, because clients really see that it's actually doing something straight away and that there is a benefit. For example, you can do a lash lift on a client. You could show them their lashes before you do the lash lift, show them their lashes after the lash lift, and that's amazing as it is. But then when you do a tint or add some keratin mascara on top after that, that instantly changes the volume and length of the lashes even further. Using a mascara will give 50 to 100% more volume straight away, instantly. So it's an incredible result that they see then and there. Plus, it's got the added nutrients in it, or the vitamins and minerals that really help lashes stay strong and healthy. So they have better outcomes for the duration of the treatment over the 6 to 8 week period. So it really is a win-win for you and your client. Creating long-lasting relationships is probably one of the most important things that you can do in business with your clients. I've had clients that I've been working with for over 15 years now, and it is just so important. Relationships is what keeps business going. So really remember that. You need to listen to your clients. You need to have great communication with your clients. You need to reward your clients as well and understand your clients. And importantly, stay in touch with them as well. These are really, really key ingredients to the formula of longevity, of having long-lasting relationships. Thank you for joining me in this presentation. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed coming on the journey of the evolution of lashes and brows and some of the trends that are happening in the industry today. If I can ever help you with anything at all, please reach out to me at Otto Mitter on Instagram or at Elleebana on Instagram, where we share a lot of education in the world of lash and brow. Always happy to help. Take care.